What if I told you that Sri Lanka is not only a paradise of breathtaking landscapes, but also a land of hidden secrets? From a name that has changed through centuries to a spice that shaped global trade, this island holds surprises at every corner. They call it the Pearl of the Indian Ocean, but why? Is it the glistening coastline, the thriving wildlife, or something even more valuable hidden beneath its surface? Sri Lanka is far more than a tropical getaway. Its history and identity are as rich as its lush landscapes. 1. Sri Lanka's alternative names. Sri Lanka is known by multiple names, each reflecting a different facet of its identity. The most poetic is the Pearl of the Indian Ocean, a title inspired by its sheer natural beauty and rich biodiversity. The country boasts one of the most diverse ecosystems in Asia, ranging from rainforests and misty mountains to pristine beaches and coral reefs. But that's not all. The name also hints at Sri Lanka's historical role in the global gemstone trade. Some of the world's finest sapphires, rubies, and other precious stones originate from its lands, making it a real pearl in economic terms as well. Another popular nickname is the Teardrop of India, given due to its striking teardrop-shaped geography just south of India. This name carries an emotional undertone as well, as Sri Lanka's history has been filled with both triumphs and tragedies, from colonial struggles to civil conflict. Yet it continues to shine as a resilient and fascinating nation. Before modern times, Sri Lanka was also known as Serendib, an Arabic name that later inspired the English word serendipity, meaning a fortunate discovery. So, whether you see Sri Lanka as a pearl, a teardrop, or a land of serendipity, one thing is for sure: this island is packed with wonder and surprises. 2. The country's former name. Believe it or not, Sri Lanka wasn't always called Sri Lanka. In fact, its name has gone through several transformations over the centuries. During Portuguese colonization in the 16th century, the island was referred to as Ceylon, a transliteration of its old Sinhala name. When the British took control in 1815, they anglicized it to Ceylon, a name that persisted even after independence in 1948. Ceylon became widely known in international trade, especially due to its world-famous Ceylon tea, a brand that remains iconic today. However, in 1972, the country decided to reclaim its national identity and officially changed its name to Sri Lanka. But what does this new name actually mean? The word Lanka has ancient origins and was always used to refer to the island, while Sri means resplendent or shining brilliantly. Together, Sri Lanka means resplendent island, a name that truly captures the essence of its beauty. Interestingly, the pronunciation of the name even sparked debate, with some preferring Sri Lanka instead of Sri Lanka. This was actually due to the preference of a former prime minister. Despite the name change, many Sri Lankan brands still use Ceylon today, including Ceylon tea and Ceylon sapphire, keeping a link to their colonial past. The evolution of Sri Lanka's name is a testament to its rich history, resilience, and the constant reinvention of its identity. 3. Largest cinnamon exporter. Sri Lanka might be small in size, but when it comes to cinnamon production, it's a global powerhouse. The island is the largest exporter of cinnamon in the world, a title it has held for centuries. This fragrant spice is not just a staple in Sri Lankan cuisine, it's one of the country's oldest and most prized exports. The history of cinnamon in Sri Lanka dates back over 2,000 years, with the Egyptians using it for embalming as early as 2000 BC. The Portuguese, who colonized the island in the 16th century, quickly recognized the immense value of Sri Lankan cinnamon and monopolized its trade. Later, the Dutch and British continued to profit from this sought-after spice, making Sri Lanka the center of the cinnamon world. Even today, over 90% of the world's true cinnamon, Ceylon cinnamon, comes from Sri Lanka. Unlike the more common cassia cinnamon, which is produced in other countries, Ceylon cinnamon is lighter, sweeter, and of much higher quality. Because of its delicate flavor and health benefits, it is preferred by chefs and nutritionists alike. Sri Lankan cinnamon is not just a major export, it's an integral part of the country's identity, culture, and economy. So next time you sprinkle cinnamon on your coffee or dessert, remember, there's a high chance it came from Sri Lanka. 4. National sport is volleyball, not cricket. If you had to guess Sri Lanka's national sport, you'd probably say cricket, right? Well, you'd be wrong. Despite cricket being the most popular sport in the country, the official national sport is volleyball. This might come as a surprise, but volleyball has been deeply rooted in Sri Lanka's sports culture for over a century. It was first introduced in 1916 and quickly gained traction, leading to the establishment of the Sri Lanka Volleyball Federation in 1951. The government officially recognized volleyball as the national sport in 1991, further solidifying its importance. But why volleyball and not cricket? The answer lies in accessibility. Volleyball requires minimal equipment, making it more affordable and playable in rural areas. Unlike cricket, which often requires proper grounds, gear, and teams, volleyball can be played with just a net and a ball. Today, Sri Lanka regularly competes in international volleyball tournaments, and the sport is actively promoted at the grassroots level. However, despite its official status, volleyball still struggles to overshadow the massive fan base of cricket, which dominates TV screens and stadiums. Interestingly, some Sri Lankans themselves are surprised to learn that their national sport is volleyball. Whether you're a fan of cricket or volleyball, one thing is certain: Sri Lanka's sports culture is filled with passion and excitement. 5. World's first female prime minister. When it comes to political milestones, Sri Lanka holds a world record. It was the first country to elect a female prime minister. In 1960, Sirimavo Bandaranaike shattered global norms by taking office, setting a precedent for women in leadership. This was no ordinary political career. She served as prime minister 3 times over 4 decades. Her first term lasted from 1960 to 1965, her second from 1970 to 1977, and she made a surprise comeback in 1994, serving until 2000. Bandaranaike's rise to power was a result of both tragedy and legacy. After the assassination of her husband Solomon Bandaranaike in 1959, she stepped into politics and led the Sri Lanka Freedom Party to victory. Once in office, she implemented strong socialist policies, nationalized key industries, and strengthened ties with non-aligned nations during the Cold War. Her leadership wasn't without controversy. Some viewed her as a visionary, while others criticized her for economic struggles and political instability during her tenure. Nevertheless, she paved the way for future female leaders worldwide. Her daughter, Chandrika Kumaratunga, followed in her footsteps and became Sri Lanka's first female president in 1994. Today, Bandaranaike's legacy remains a powerful symbol of female empowerment in politics. At a time when female leaders were rare, Sri Lanka led the way, proving that a small island nation could set global milestones. 6. One of the oldest national flags. A country's flag is more than just a symbol. It tells a story. And Sri Lanka's national flag is one of the oldest in the world, with origins dating back over 2,000 years. Known as the lion flag, it features a golden lion holding a sword, an emblem that represents strength, bravery, and sovereignty. The lion itself is believed to have arrived in Sri Lanka with Prince Vijaya, the legendary founder of the Sinhalese civilization. However, the flag has undergone several transformations throughout history. When the British took control in 1815, they replaced the lion flag with the Union Jack, erasing a crucial part of Sri Lanka's identity. But after gaining independence in 1948, Sri Lanka proudly reinstated the golden lion as the centerpiece of its flag. Later, in 1972, 4 bow leaves were added to the corners, replacing previous spearheads. These bow leaves represent the 4 noble truths of Buddhism: loving kindness, compassion, equanimity, and happiness. The flag's deep red background symbolizes Sri Lanka's Sinhala heritage, while the green and orange stripes represent the Muslim and Tamil communities, respectively, highlighting the country's diversity. Today, the Sri Lankan flag stands as a powerful symbol of resilience, history, and unity, surviving centuries of change yet holding on to its ancient roots. So the next time you see this flag waving, know that it carries a legacy far older than most nations in the world. 7. Sacred Mountain Adams Peak. Imagine a mountain so sacred that 4 different religions claim it as their own. That's Adam's Peak, also known as Sri Pada, one of the holiest and most iconic landmarks in Sri Lanka. Towering at 7,359 feet, 2,243 meters, this peak attracts thousands of pilgrims every year who climb its 5,500 stone steps to reach the top. But what makes it so special? The answer lies in a mystical footprint at the summit, believed to have been left by a divine figure. Buddhists say it belongs to Buddha, marking the spot where he visited Sri Lanka. Hindus believe it was Lord Shiva's footprint. Meanwhile, Christians and Muslims claim it was Adam's, left behind when he was exiled from the Garden of Eden. Some even go as far as to suggest that Sri Lanka itself was Eden. Regardless of belief, the experience of climbing Adam's Peak is deeply spiritual. The best time to ascend is before dawn, so you can witness the famous sunrise, where the mountain casts a perfect pyramid-shaped shadow over the landscape. The pilgrimage season runs from December to May, and during this time the trail is illuminated by lanterns, creating an unforgettable sight. Whether you're religious or not, standing at the summit and gazing at the breathtaking views is an otherworldly experience. It's not just a hike, it's a journey through history, spirituality, and myth. 8. The Sacred Tooth Relic of Buddha. Can a single tooth hold the power of an entire nation? In Sri Lanka, the answer is yes. The Sacred Tooth Relic of Buddha is one of the country's most revered objects, housed in the famous Temple of the Tooth, Sri Dalada Malagawa, in Kandy. According to legend, the relic was smuggled from India in the 4th century CE, hidden in the hair of a princess to protect it from invading forces. Over time, it became a symbol of royal authority. Whoever possessed the tooth had the divine right to rule Sri Lanka. This belief made the relic a highly contested prize, leading to numerous wars and invasions over the centuries. Today, the relic is stored in a golden casket, which is never opened for public viewing. But every year, in July or August, the city of Kandy comes alive with Asala Perahera, the world-famous Festival of the Tooth. This spectacular event features elephants draped in gold, fire dancers, drummers, and lavish processions that parade through the streets in honor of the relic. The festival attracts thousands of pilgrims and tourists from around the world, all eager to witness one of the most extraordinary Buddhist celebrations on earth. Even if you don't visit during Asala Perahera, the Temple of the Tooth remains a must-see, offering a glimpse into Sri Lanka's deep spiritual heritage. 9. Possibly home to the Garden of Eden. Could the real Garden of Eden be in Sri Lanka? Some believe so. This theory is tied to Adam's Peak, where many Christians and Muslims claim Adam first set foot on earth after being banished from paradise. But the connection doesn't stop there. In ancient texts, Sri Lanka is described as a land of lush gardens, abundant food, and eternal beauty, similar to the biblical description of Eden. Some researchers point to the island's extraordinary biodiversity, including rare flora and fauna found nowhere else in the world, as evidence that it could have been the mythical paradise. Even the Mahavamsa, Sri Lanka's ancient historical chronicle, describes the island as a land blessed by the gods. Adding to the mystery, there are natural wonders in Sri Lanka that seem almost too perfect to be real, such as the breathtaking Sigiriya rock fortress, misty hill country, and untouched rainforests. While historians and theologians may never reach a consensus, the idea that Sri Lanka could be the lost Eden adds to the island's mythical charm. Whether you believe it or not, one thing is undeniable. Sri Lanka is a place of remarkable natural beauty, making it feel like a paradise on earth. 10. The oldest human-planted tree. What if I told you that a single tree in Sri Lanka has been standing for over 2,300 years, and it was planted by a human? Meet the Sri Mahabodhi, the oldest human-planted tree in recorded history. Located in Anuradhapura, one of Sri Lanka's ancient capitals, this sacred fig tree is not just old, it's a direct descendant of the very tree under which Buddha attained enlightenment in India. According to historical records, the tree was planted in 288 BC by Princess Sangamita, the daughter of Emperor Ashoka, who brought a cutting from the original Bodhi tree in Bodh Gaya, India. Over the centuries, the Sri Mahabodhi has been carefully protected by Buddhist monks and remains one of the most revered pilgrimage sites in Sri Lanka. The tree is surrounded by golden fences and stone walls, ensuring its preservation through time. Despite wars, invasions, and natural disasters, it has miraculously survived, making it a living relic of history. Visitors to Anuradhapura can witness devotees offering flowers and prayers at the base of this ancient tree, reinforcing its significance as a sacred symbol of enlightenment and wisdom. Whether you're a historian, a spiritual seeker, or simply a nature lover, standing in the presence of the Sri Mahabodhi is a humbling experience, one that connects you to thousands of years of history. 11. Cost of living, healthcare, and must-see destinations in Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is often considered one of the most affordable travel and expat destinations in South Asia. The cost of living is significantly lower than in Western countries, making it attractive for digital nomads, retirees, and budget-conscious travelers. A comfortable lifestyle in Sri Lanka can cost around $600 to $1,200 per month, depending on the city and lifestyle choices. Rent for a one-bedroom apartment in Colombo, the capital, ranges from $150 to $500 per month, while in smaller towns like Kandy or Gal, it can be even lower. Eating out is incredibly cheap, with local meals costing as little as $2 to $5, while mid-range restaurant dining might cost around $10 per person. However, imported goods and luxury items are relatively expensive due to high import taxes. Healthcare in Sri Lanka is affordable and of good quality, especially in private hospitals in major cities, which offer modern facilities and English-speaking doctors. For those looking to relocate, some of the best places to live include Colombo, for urban convenience, Kandy, for a peaceful cultural atmosphere, Gal, for stunning coastal living, and Ella, for a serene hill country retreat. As for must-see destinations, Sigiriya Rock Fortress is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and one of Sri Lanka's most breathtaking landmarks. Nature lovers shouldn't miss Yala National Park, home to the world's highest leopard density, or Udawalawe National Park, famous for its large elephant population. For beach enthusiasts, Mirissa, Unawatuna, and Arugam Bay offer crystal-clear waters, palm-fringed shores, and excellent surfing opportunities. In the highlands, Nuwara Eliya, known as Little England, is famous for tea plantations, cool climate, and scenic landscapes. Finally, a train ride from Kandy to Ella is often ranked as one of the most beautiful train journeys in the world, passing through lush green hills, waterfalls, and misty tea estates. Whether you're visiting for a short trip or considering making Sri Lanka your home, this country offers unforgettable experiences at an unbeatable cost. Sri Lanka is full of surprises. From ancient history to modern charm, this island has it all. Stunning landscapes, rich culture, and affordable living make it a dream destination. Whether you visit or move here, Sri Lanka will amaze you. Explore its sacred sites, beautiful beaches, and vibrant cities. Taste the food, meet the people, and embrace the adventure. This is a place where history and nature blend perfectly. Have you been to Sri Lanka? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing travel content.